Well, I guess we can play German sides in the first knockout round. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Careering Onwards with me, Mr. Grand 2, here with Borussia Mönchengladbach and France. And, well, it's the end of the January transfer window, the 1st of February now, in our first season here in Germany. And things are going pretty well. Pretty well indeed. We'll go through the transfers first of all before two big games in the league this season. And, well, it's been an interesting transfer window. Didn't quite go how I would have expected it to. Now, we were talking about buying a new winger, and we have bought a new winger, but our hand has kind of been forced because Callum Hudson-Odoi is no longer here. He's joined Hoffenheim because it turned out he had a release clause, which I didn't know about. I didn't realise. There might have been an email about it that I sort of just skirted over, but in any case, he wasn't wanted by anybody. There was no interest in him, and then suddenly one day Hoffenheim came along and they activated his release clause. And, well, I mean, offered him a new contract, but I felt his wage demands were very excessive, particularly given the fact that he had been pretty poor throughout the first half of the season. And not just sort of ineffectually poor, but just sort of directly responsible for us dropping points on a few occasions. So I figured, okay, thank you very much and goodbye. £26 million was the activation fee. So a healthy profit for Mönchengladbach, but disappointing because we probably could have got a bit more for him. But like I say, he's not been very good for us this season, and he's been even worse for Hoffenheim so far. He'll probably score against us when we play them again. But anyway, he's a decent player, but not too devastated to see him go. Tommy Santiago has also gone as well. He's been sold, 25-year-old defender, never really played in an episode for us, never really played for me at all, particularly anyway. In fact, didn't play for me at all in the league. His only appearances were in Europe. He's not done well when he's played for Mönchengladbach. I don't know. He was the vice captain. He was quite influential in the dressing room, relatively popular with the fans. I don't really know why. They signed him from FC Utrecht. Technically not good. I mean, 12 marking and 11 tackling is the kind of thing that you'd probably get away with in League Two. It's not something you'd get away with in the Bundesliga. But he's gone to Leicester, our former club, of course. Leicester, 17 million is the fee, which I think is more than good for a player that I was never going to use. Speaking of Leicester, things have gone a little bit wrong for them. John Robertson has been sacked and replaced by Vladan Miljelovic, and well, they're currently in 14th. They were down in 17th, which led to John Robertson's demise. They've recovered a little bit, so they're looking like they're not going to get relegated, but not pushing on from where we left them last season. And that's two clubs we've left, and they've just gone a bit backwards since we did. Cambridge, let's just check in on them. Better season than last year. They, of course, lost the playoff final in League One last season. This season, they are in 4th place in League One, so not too bad. Heading potentially for an automatic promotion space, if not another playoff spot. So they're doing okay. Anyway, we also sold Christian Aman. I mean, great name. Regen defender. He allegedly had some good potential. I'm not really sure he's ever going to meet it. His technicals, I mean, yes, he's only 18, but his technicals are dreadful again for a defender. Not ever going to really get much better than that, I don't think. £5 million from Borussia Dortmund, thank you very much. So we had to replace them then, and I have signed, this is not the replacement for Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Milan van der Rie has joined us on loan from PSV. The board aren't very happy, the fans aren't very happy. Look, we're paying him basically nothing in terms of a wage. He's not great, but attributes-wise he looks decent enough. He's left-footed, which we needed. He's actually played quite well for PSV when he's been asked to. He's scored quite a few goals in the Eredivisie. Kind of just has sort of stalled this season. He's nothing special. Will probably not play for us at all. Just really here as a backup in case something goes dreadfully wrong. But new centre-back option for us is Andres Cabrera, Argentinian youth international, signed from River Plate for a cut price £3.8 million. An absolute bargain considering the amount of money we got in for Santiago. Physically good, natural fitness is an issue, but some lovely mentals, particularly anticipation and bravery, good tackling, marking's good. He's not the most technically adept, but he's still got 12 passing, which is really good for a player who is maybe not the most ball playing of centre-backs, which is obviously my preference. So yeah, first touch and technique aren't good, but the passing of 12 I think makes up for it. Vision of 12 as well. Very nice option for us. And then the main signing, the replacement for Callum Hudson-Odoi, is Harry Wilson. We've got another British player in, and I think actually probably for our needs, someone who is quite a lot better, technically a lot better than Hudson-Odoi. 14 finishing and 16 composure is lovely stuff, along with excellent crossing, dribbling, good corner taking, and really good free kick taking, which he's already put into good effect. Passing and vision are good, technique's very good, work rate's really good too. I think he is exactly what we need on the left-hand side, naturally left-footed as well. I mean, yeah, I'm very happy with this, especially as we only paid £13 million for him from Napoli, where we spent the last 3.5 years after leaving Liverpool. Done okay, average rating-wise, when called upon, just hasn't really been given much in the way of a game time or much in the way of opportunities. So, well, we're going to hopefully change that, and he's already got himself a goal and an assist for us. So then with those signings all done and made, we have played quite a few games since last time where we scraped through in the Europa League. As you saw in the start of the video, we will be playing Borussia Dortmund in the first knockout round, which is unfortunate. I would say they could have probably been worse. Maybe they're probably the strongest team left in there, so that's unfortunate. But that'll be next time. We will play both legs as well as the goals from the Eintracht Frankfurt game. But today we'll be playing Werder Bremen and Wolfsburg in the league. And well, we're going very well in the league, as you can see. Since last time, we are undefeated. We have won 4 matches and drawn 1, as well as a friendly. So yeah, pretty good. We are still right in contention for the Bundesliga title, which is pretty ridiculous. But we started things off with a 4-0 win against Hannover 96. Pinamonti scored 2 from Mbolo and 1 from Ivanusek, who has, well, he was out of the team a little bit. Really, in the last few matches, has been very, very good indeed. Very, very nice attacking player for us. So that was an excellent 3 points. 0-0 with Schalke was actually, in the end, quite... I mean, it wasn't really disappointing. It was disappointing in the sense we didn't get the 3 points, which we really should have done. If you look at the stats, the balance of play, we hit the woodwork twice, 3 half chances, 9 shots on target, total domination of all possession and everything else. If you look at the average ratings, I don't think I've ever had such high average ratings and then not actually won the game. Even the attacking players, no one was lower than a 6.8. We did play very well. They didn't play very well, but we just didn't find the breakthrough on that occasion. But since the winter break, 3 wins from 3. We beat Cologne, our local rivals, 2-0 first of all. Harry Wilson scoring on his debut, as well as a goal from Briel and Bolo. And then a 3-0 revenge win against VFL Bochum after they beat us earlier on in this season. Ginter, Ivanusek and Mbolo with the goals. And then a 1-0 win most recently against Mainz. Matthias Ginter getting another goal in that one, celebrating not only his birthday, he's 31 now, but also celebrating the fact that he's now happy after finally realising that we have actually qualified for European competition this season, and he's been playing in it. Right, so today the 2 W's, Werder and Wolfsburg, but let's see how that can potentially affect the league table. We find ourselves in a very good and very actually quite secure at the moment, for now, touch wood, second place, 4 points behind Bayern Munich because they are just an unstoppable killing machine. They are top of the league, but we are 7 points clear of RB Leipzig and then 9 points clear of Hoffenheim because, well, they keep dropping points, they keep losing, they keep drawing. Leipzig in particular, you can see from the recent form, 4 draws in a row for them, 3 recent defeats for Hoffenheim, and Dortmund dropping points as well. They're even further back. That for me is the most important thing. 10 points clear of Borussia Dortmund in the race for Champions League qualification, which has to be the main thing. I don't think we're going to overhaul Bayern Munich. I don't think we're good enough to do that. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but looking forwards, depending on how this season ends up shaking up, I don't really see the Leipzig and Dortmund managers both surviving. Maybe one of them, but I don't see them both surviving, which means there might be an opportunity for us to sort of make a domestic move, because if we are going to win the Bundesliga, which I'd like to do, I'd like to win all the major European leagues. I'd like to win every trophy, if that's even going to be possible. But if we are going to win the Bundesliga, I mean, Mönchengladbach, we can maybe do it. But I think we're starting from a further back position than Dortmund and Leipzig. So potentially, if there's the job available, we might make the move. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. We've still got the rest of the season to go. And we're going to start off our February proceedings with Werder Bremen, who are, well, they're one of the more sort of consistent Bundesliga teams. They are not having the best season ever, find themselves down in 12th. Not too bad, but we should, at home, at the Borussia Park, be winning this one. Now, Dennis Zakaria has got a slight injury. He's got a tight calf and he's out for... Well, he's got one more day out. I think he's going to be fine, though. And Eckstein is on the bench if need be. He's unhappy about lack of first-team football, but, I mean, I'm not really bothered by that at the moment. But the team, then, is the team that has played the last few matches and have played pretty well. And that, of course, is Kragno in goal. He's done very well so far this season, despite his average rating. Josh Tymon at left-back, Ginter, Elvedi and Kellick completing the defence. Guendouzi, Zakaria and Ivanusek in midfield, with Mbolo doing well on the right-hand side. Harry Wilson's had a flying start to proceedings in a Borussia Mönchengladbach shirt. And Andrea Pinamonti up front. He's not been prolific in his last few games. In fact, let's tell him off. I'd like to see a bit more from you. Score more goals. He says he's going to do it. Well, he's promised us, and you know what I think about player promises. So, Werder Bremen, they've got Jonas Wind up front, who was for a regular player in my Danish national side when I managed them. Pretty decent striker. Didn't really score many goals for the Danish national side when I was in charge, but he's okay, I guess. Vargas on the left-hand side is a very decent left winger. They've got Alexandra Bertrand in midfield. Looks pretty good. He's French as well, which he could potentially pay for the national side eventually. They've got Oliver Skip in defensive midfield, which is not a bad player to have. They're a decent team, but given the form we're in, given how good we are, we should be winning this one, hopefully quite comfortably. We need to keep winning these matches. We need to keep the pressure on Bayern Munich, because I don't think they're going to slip up, but we need to make sure we absolutely do not slip up. And we're coming forwards early on. Pinamonti, we told him off, puts the ball across, and well, easy chance for Ivanusek, says the text commentary. Not really sure how he's missed that one. That was unfortunate. Are we going to regret not converting that chance? The first half is disappearing very rapidly again, and it's a free kick for Werder Bremen, which is just over. That was heart-in-mouth type moments, and it looks like half-time's going to come up with no breakthrough for either side. Most importantly, no breakthrough for us. Disappointing. Let's go out there and be a bit more... We're going to go attacking, I think, in this second half. Take the fight to them a bit more. Free kick early on from Harry Wilson, and there we go. Breakthrough. Andrea Pinamonti, he did promise us, and he has kept his promise. His 9th of the season. Assist from Wilson as well, which is fantastic. Pinamonti, he's not a very tall man, but he beats 3 defenders there to head home. And, I mean, he's definitely onside, clearly onside. There's literally... Well, he's walked through that defender, and again, but, well, there you go, breakthrough. Corner comes in as well. Pinamonti again. Wilson with the corner this time, not the free kick. And it's the same result. Other side of the pitch, different kind of set piece. Still a header from Andrea Pinamonti, and he has definitely fulfilled his promise now, 2-0. There's a throw-in this time. We nearly got the full set of set pieces. Tymon puts it across, and Breland Bolo now scores. And when we've scored from a corner, we've scored from a free kick, we've scored from a throw-in. Logically, only a penalty is left. Exchange of play with Ivanusek. Tymon sets himself up nicely. It's another header. Breland Bolo this time on the right-hand side. 3-0, and well, we're looking very good from set pieces, if nothing else. Presumably, we're going to get a penalty from this highlight. That will complete the set. Pinamonti runs in. Instead, he goes for a shot, tries to score. All right, still coming forwards again. Time is disappearing, and we've got a pretty commanding lead at this point. Kellick running infield, back to Guendouzi. Tymon on the left-hand side puts the ball across, and Breland Bolo is there for his 10th of the season. He has fully adjusted to the style of play that the team are now using. Lovely weighted ball from Guendouzi. Josh Tymon, I mean, he's usurped Braderick on the left-hand side, mainly because he was moaning, but he has kept his place on merit. Another lovely ball and another lovely goal from Mbolo. This one is done. And what we're also going to do, which I've been doing occasionally, we're going to drop the tempo down to... that's down to higher. I guess because we're on attacking, isn't it? We'll drop it down to standard. and we'll go back to balanced as well. There's no need, when we're 4-0 up, absolutely no need to engage in any sort of silly behaviour and get any unnecessary injuries. And there we are, disappointing first half, blisteringly brilliant second half, 4-0. Very, very, very clinical indeed. We have certainly started being a lot more clinical in recent weeks, and that's definitely going to be needed. Clearly, we've been doing a lot of work in training involving set pieces, because that was very nice indeed. Excellent performance from the boys, and it keeps that pressure on Bayern Munich. We'll see how they get on in their game, but obviously all we can do is just keep on winning, keep on getting as many points as possible, and keep on closing the gap, trying to keep them in touching distance, and hopefully they can slip up. Well, no such slip up today. Schalke winning their game, Bayern winning theirs. Well, that's against Dortmund, so that's, well, stopping Dortmund from closing the gap. Hoffenheim losing to Leipzig as well, which again, although we want Bayern and Leipzig to be dropping points because they're definitely the main contenders for the title, the focus has got to be on Champions League qualification. So Hoffenheim dropping points and Dortmund dropping points is more important. And in terms of the race for at least getting fourth place is concerned, we're now 12 points clear of Hoffenheim in fifth. Another big game at the top of the table, Dortmund now drawing 3-3 with RB Leipzig, which I think again is a pretty decent result for us. Leipzig dropping points once more. Right then, Wolfsburg, absolutely no changes to the lineup, no need to after such an excellent performance, and some goals now from Pinamonti. Let's hope we can keep it up against another sort of good, solid, decent mid-table side. Now, we did play Wolfsburg earlier on in the season. They've been a bit busy in the transfer window. They've signed Timo Werner from Chelsea for £51 million. Just a slight loss there for the Blues, but yeah, I mean he's good, isn't he? He is pretty good, so he'll probably score. I'm not entirely optimistic about this one. I think we should be all right. I expect you to keep going, win. Obviously, that's what I'm going to tell them. But I mean, I'm not too sure. If we can win this, that would be a really good result for us, I think. But away from home, this is the kind of game that we sometimes, and not just necessarily this team, but we sometimes come unstuck under whichever team we're at. Early chance, we don't score. Come forwards again though. Josh Timon on the left hand side. Can he get a bit more purchase? Finds Pinamonti, and Bolo can't quite get there. Ivanusic's shot in the end is quite tame into the gloves of Pontus Dalberg. Ginter though cleans up the goal kick. We go all the way back to Cragno and look to build again. Zakaria beats one, beats two, beats three, goes for the shot. Not the best option from him. Half time coming up, and we look to be coming forwards again. Guendouzi out to Kelleck on the right hand side. Can he beat his man? Yes, he can. And the ball comes in, and it's that man again, Andrea Pinamonti. I mean, wow. I don't think I've ever had a talking to with a player that's been quite so effective. Wasn't scoring many. He's got 3 in this episode alone. Brilliant dodge from Kelleck, and it's another headed goal from Pinamonti. He's not the tallest, but he loves scoring headers. At half-time, we have got the lead. Excellent stuff. Keep it up. We are looking pretty good in this one. Let's not be complacent, though. Go out there, get a second. And as soon as I say that, obviously, Wolfsburg coming forwards. Adeyemi to Kim Jin-ya, and what a hit that is. What a hit that is indeed from Kim Jin-ya, right off the post. And what did I say about being complacent? Adeyemi, not really pressed, not really challenged. I mean, Jin-ya has so much space, so much time to manoeuvre, and that is a thunderbolt strike. Not much that Cragno could do about that one. He hasn't conceded for a while, but he concedes there. And as soon as that goes in, Josh Timon is going to come off because he is injured, which is unfortunate. What kind of injury is it? It's a potential lower leg injury. Brilliant. So just after the window's closed, he's probably broken his leg or something. Well, Bradovic is a more than capable replacement. Ivanusik has missed out there. And now Wolfsburg are emboldened. They're coming forwards, and Adeyemi gets a goal to match his assist earlier on. I was about to take Ivanusik off, but I got distracted because of the injury to Timon, and he's lost the ball there. And Wolfsburg have scored. And I did say I was worried about this game, and it's come to fruition. We took the lead, we looked in control, and we have been complacent. I mean, they have literally scored with their only 2 shots of the game, which is a little bit of a, taking the mickey type situation. But there we go. They've been clinical. We clearly have not been. After I said, look how clinical we've been. we've not been clinical. Time is going away here. We are gonna let's go attacking, because I'd rather lose 3-1 than not try and get a draw. One more change to make. We just we look a bit shell shocked, look a bit stunned of what's just happened, which is probably understandable, but not exactly good. Time is going away here, and I think we'll switch to the other system, see if that makes the slightest bit of difference. And well, we've binned it off. Having looked in control in the first half, we've given away all the points. That was not good enough, and our excellent unbeaten run in the league comes to an end against Wolfsburg. And well, injury worry for Timon, potentially serious injury. Has he broken his leg? Yes, he's broken his leg. Brilliant, fantastic, just what I like to see. He's out for 4 months, and a week after the transfer window's closed, we've got one left back. We've got one left back. That is brilliant. Well, the first game and a half was good, wasn't it? That was good. The first half of this was good, and then I don't really know what happened. I mean, Kim Jin-Ya's goal was really good. That was an excellent goal. And then after that, we kind of just it's like we just gave up, really, which is a bit disappointing given how good we have been recently. But we need to recover in the next game against Nuremberg, and I'll play that in between episodes, and we'll be back next time very shortly for the Dortmund game in the Europa League first knockout round. Hoffenheim won their game, and oh look, Bayern Munich, they won as well. So they're just 7 points clear of us now, but we are still pretty well. We're 9 points clear, 9 points clear of Hoffenheim, and then 11 points clear of Schalke, who drew. So Champions League is looking relatively good. The league, I think, is probably going to be beyond us this year. But there we are. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy that late collapse, but everything else was quite good. Oh, and also I didn't enjoy Josh Timon being out injured for the rest of the season. That's not fun either. Thanks, Sports Interactive. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you next time.